Well, hello and welcome to another daily. Today we face the AI on a Friday, which means that there are three possible kingdoms, I suppose. We do have a touch of Cornucopia and Guilds with these two cards. We have Menagerie and Nocturne. And with that, we face an interesting looking kingdom once again. As always, I'll first discuss the kingdom cards, so feel free to skip ahead. From Nocturne, we have Monastery, and Monastery is a treasure that we can play in the night phase. And for each card we've gained this turn, we may trash a card from our hand or a copper we have in play. This one is, a fairly situational treasure. If we can gain a few cards during our turn, it's nice. If we don't, then, well, it kind of falls off. It's also somewhat awkward on early turns if you draw it with the wrong cards. If you only draw it with 2 coppers, it sometimes can suck, but here we can always buy a Pixie in that case. So moderately nice treasure. Speaking about treasures, there is Pixie that in itself is only a treasure in 1 out of 12 times because it reveals the top boon, and we may trash the Pixie from play to receive that boon twice. But also, Pixie comes with an heirloom, in this case the goat, and goat lets us trash a card from our hand, without any condition. Super nice, and leads to super fast games usually. Camel Train lets us exile a non-victory card from the supply. Exile means that it's put on our exile mat, and then whenever we gain the next copy of that card, we can decide to discard all copies of said card from exile into our discard pile. And also, when we gain Camel Train, it exiles gold from the supply, which is, nice. And this means that if we bought 2 Camel Trains, we would already have 2 golds in exile, and the next time we could buy gold, we could decide to discard them and then, have some nice payload. There's also Changeling. Trash this on play in a night phase and gain a copy of a card you have in play. So it's kind of a workshop or a feast variant of a card that you already have in play. And we can always opt to gain a Changeling instead of any card that costs 3 or more. So this is also quite interesting. Next up is Ghost Town, a village that is gained to our hand and will give us +1 card and +1 action the next turn. And it's a village, as Ghost Town itself doesn't use up any actions when we play it. Quite nice, and this gain to hand effect is strong. Snowy Village, +1 card, +4 actions and a buy. And then afterwards we need to ignore any further plus actions we get this turn. This means that we kind of have to be careful to play it as one of our last cards, or we would prefer to do that. But you cannot not always guarantee that it is. Stockpile, +3, +1 buy, and when you play this, exile it. One of the strongest cards strongest payload cards, let's say that, in the game. Usually Stockpile piles its stock as it's so strong, and you usually desire to regain it or rebuy it, because then you can play 2 stockpiles, for example. They will end up on your exile mat, and the only way to get it out of there is to gain another stockpile, so you just go ahead and buy another one. Then there's Bard, 2 money, receive a boon. Quite simple, quite nice. Blessed Village, +1 card and +2 actions, so village effect, and when we gain it, we take a boon, and we can opt to decide to receive it now or at the start of our next turn. And yeah, I haven't shown the boons yet. They are fairly good effects. 12 of them, and all of them are dealt out before they can reappear. So they can appear due to Pixie, due to Bard, due to Blessed Village. Yeah, and that's it. So now for the Cornucopia cards, there's Young Witch, which also added an 11th pile to this kingdom. And that pile is the Bane card now, which means that, so Young Witch on play plus 2 cards and discard 2 cards, and then each other player may reveal a Bane card from their hand or gain a curse. And therefore, Monastery can not only help us trash down later, but also will help us to defend against the Young Witch attack. Carnival is a smithy variant that sometimes draws up to 4 cards, as it reveals the top 4 cards of the deck, and then we can put one of each differently named card into our hand and have to discard the rest. Yeah, quite pleasant draw usually, and it works out more often than you'd think. And last one is Way of the Turtle. Away, so each action card we play, we can always decide to just play as Way of the Turtle, and that means we would set it aside, and if we did, we'd play it at the start of our next turn. Yeah, good stuff. Very interesting kingdom, so let's talk about strategy. Well, first off, we see that there's everything we could ever desire. There's a village, there's draw, there's strong payload, there's trashing in Monastery and Goat. There's even an attack in Young Witch, which could potentially slow down any money strategy. And yeah, this looks like a very fast kingdom, as with the Goat you get to trash out immediately. You start with 9 cards essentially, 1 fewer estate, unless you see the Goat with 4 coppers, which can also happen. Yeah, there is a few concerns. The stockpiles will run out, and after the stockpiles will run out, you will suddenly probably face a lack of payload, but there's 2 ways to get that back. You can just buy Camel trains and exile gold, and then after doing so, buy gold and get the gold out of exile. And you can even, when buying them, you can exchange them for Changeling. So you will exile a gold and then gain a Changeling instead, which can turn into a Carnival or Blessed Village or any other engine component. Snowy Village is another plus buy, so after the stockpiles run out, we're not out of that. And Way of the Turtle is a great enabler of consistency, as if we have an excess Carnival, we can start off the next turn with the Carnival or something like that. So yeah, super strong stuff. Let's look at the kingdom plot just for fun. It looks symmetrical. Nice. But yeah, I don't know, probably mainly due to me ranking Young Witch as a rather inconsequential attack. Maybe I need to re-evaluate it, as I've seen in some games where it is strong. But certainly here with the strong trashing, it won't be super strong. Yeah. All right. That leads us to the opening discussion. So we have the 2-5, and we are even really lucky that we find the Goat in 3 estate hand. On the 4-3, I think I open. Usually I trash an estate and open Bard and Pixie, I think. And there is also some merit to just going for Stockpile Monastery. On the high roll, you get to trash 2 cards already, but I like some more cycling in the early game, just to see the goat more often, because then you can trash out cards for free, essentially. On the 2-5, the consideration would be Pixie Carnival or Monastery Carnival, or just for the 5 also go for a Bard or a Stockpile. They are all viable cards. I'm not super sure yeah, what will be the best strategy. AI usually likes to go for Young Witch, so I think we'll definitely pick up a Monastery somewhere along the way. Yeah, let's see. So let's start the game. I'm going for Pixie first. Some lucky boon could really help us. And on this 5, the problem about Carnival is that currently we have loads of coppers in hand, so it won't even strictly draw for, it's actually very unlikely to draw for 4 cards, but still it will help us find the goat more often, and we can also easily, if we know we have a carnival in the next hand, just buy a ghost town or delay the carnival with Way of the Turtle. So I think I like it here, and we get a super, super nice draw. We will very... this is absurd. We are very likely to find the goat, I was about to say. But yeah. Wow. What do we go for here? So we can discard this, trash this Pixie to gain 2 cards costing up to 5 and up to 4. I like getting a Stockpile in. I like getting maybe already a Ghost Town in to kick off next turn. So next turn we will start with an estate or a copper on top, but we will clear the rest of the shuffle. So we will see the carnival, we will have a chance to see the carnival again. Yeah, why not a ghost town? I like it. Now we play the carnival right now. We could also opt to just play it next turn, because what are we going to buy? But then we would skip trashing with the goat, so it's actually nicer to play the carnival, even though that discards a few cards. So now I'm thinking about getting a monastery, and let's see how next turn goes. AI does not find its young witch. We do not find the carnival, but that's completely okay. We can just buy Ghost Town and get our stockpile out of exile. This is an excellent draw. I'm not going to lie. This was really good. We do get cursed here, but we have the Ghost Town. We can put loads of cards into our hand. The last card is the Monastery, which might be nice if AI curses us again or tries to curse us again. We can just hammer in the draw now and get yet another stockpile. I note that it's not that great, of course, with the carnival to not diversify our deck more. But see, here we already draw 3 cards, and we can think about just playing this carnival as Way of the Turtle to set up the next turn. But we can also think about just being greedy, as we will draw the stockpile, the goat, and the copper with this, and we will be able to trash out a bunch with the monastery this turn, so reliability should be given. So let's draw up. We do not need to trash, as we can just trash these coppers from play. We want to for sure regain this stockpile. We want to maybe put another carnival in, and could be super greedy and just go for 2 stockpiles, but actually having them in there for a bit longer might be beneficial. We could go for a Camel train and a Snowy Village as well. That's a bit more on the slow side, given our payload. We could also, yeah, there's lots of good options here. Go for Blessed Village. I think I like going for a Snowy Village. It's going to be relevant later when the stockpiles run out anyways. And the only question here is, what do we gain it with? I like getting the Camel train, I think. We get to exile a gold, and it will help us, gain more cards more quickly. So now we just trash out all of these coppers. Thinking about it, can also, I think it's more, it's actually, sorry, I'm sorry to undo this once again. We can, yeah, I think I like actually being a little more greedy and just buy another stockpile as long as they're in stock. Thinking, yeah, this feels a bit cleaner. We need to be careful and cognizant of piles to not get piled out on. We amazingly draw our deck here. We get to trash this curse, play these stockpiles, have 7 money, and yeah, for sure rebuy this stockpile. AI does have a ghost town coming in. We do have a carnival coming in. Now, I think, well, the AI is likely to just buy out the stockpile, so we could just go ahead and do so ourselves. And now, what else do we want to put in? Could put in yet another carnival. Could also just think about putting in some different cards so we actually draw a bit better and not discard all of those stockpiles. Yeah, why not? Let's now go for the Camel train and maybe a Bard or a Blessed Village, I think. Let's go for the Bard. We can allow ourselves to be greedy here, I think, as we do have this Way of the Turtle coming in. And yeah, let's play this normally. Unfortunately, this only drew 2 cards, but that's, yeah, just because of our very aggressive stockpile buying. Now I'm going to just turtle this here after playing the Bard. Let's see what we get. But I'm going to turtle this Carnival here because we do not have another Carnival, and we will only draw at max 1 stockpile anyways. This last card is the Camel train. It's not great that it's there, but it's okay. We can trash this Monastery. We are not going to need it anymore. And now I think we do want a bit more payload. We can exile a gold and then exchange this one for a Changeling. We don't need 2 Camel trains. We can put in a Blessed Village just for some variety. Receive a boon, and next turn also get that silver in. And then, yeah, why not get those golds out of exile and put in yet another card that is more diversity. And yeah, but this kingdom feels very much one. Let's hope I'm not talking too early, but yeah, we just got zooming incredibly fast just due to very fortunate early draws. Play this normally. Discard 2 stockpiles, not too great. Now receive the silver. let's keep it as a silver. Some diversity for our deck. Get to play the Blasted Village. Get to play the Snowy Village, the Pixie. And we can just exile a Carnival here. Play those 2 stockpiles to buy a province. I think that's quite important. Get this Carnival out of exile and buy another ghost town to set up the next turn, as we don't have a Carnival coming in. But we did know that we had 2 Carnivals top decked there. So yeah, this should be an easy way to victory now, even though the AI continues to curse us. But let's see. Yeah, AI goes for some of these. Nice that we find the Blasted Village here. The last card is the Snowy Village. Perfect. No, we don't need that boon. We can play this Bard. Maybe I should have... No, I couldn't have played it before. But we can... Yeah, exile this Carnival so it gets out of reach for AI. Is there actually a win here? No, we only have 4 buys, right? 4 buys plus a Changeling. Yeah, actually there is a win, right? We can just buy the remaining ghost towns and gain the last ghost town via our Changeling. Wow. I mean, this is not flashy getting rid of all of the provinces here, but it's at least a turn 10 pile out with the province in deck. So now let's get the last ghost town, play them to set up our amazing next imaginary turn with 6 ghost towns and 2 turtled carnivals coming in, and be happy we managed to win this in a quite nice fashion. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Goodbye and see you next time. Catch you next time. That's my catchphrase, I guess. Goodbye.